What's crack-a-lackin'?
Not much, man.
What's cooking good looking?
Whoa.
Shoot, David.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yep. It is Thursday. This will be on a Thursday.
This is Thursday the 22nd.
So it'll be a week from
coming
now.
out
A week
Thursday
from now.
the 29th.
I'll be leaving.
Oh, yeah.
You're leaving us? Anyways.
Anyways, today we're going to talk about social media, the goods, the bads, everything in between.
Yeah.
I
Are
feel
there
like
in-betweens?
there is.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Because social media brings
Out the
a
worst
lot
in
of
people.
bad
There's
stuff.
some good.
Like
There's some good.
cyberbullying, posting things that shouldn't be posted. But it also brings out good stuff. Like,
We're able to
Information.
share stuff like this, like the podcast.
yeah,
Facts.
if it wasn't for social media, we'd have nowhere to put
We'd be
this.
mailing it.
Yeah, we'd be like mailing people discs. Yeah, exactly. And,
Imagine that. Imagine we had to like mail out discs.
Podcast wouldn't be a thing, dude, if social media
Oh,
wasn't
like-
to exist.
It'd be
It's called
it'd
radio
be like
shows.
Okay.
Well, social media also allows us to keep in touch with our family, see what they're up to.
Snapchat, which I hate to have,
I,
but we can still talk to people, which
yeah,
is nice. We can ask when to get on Call of Duty.
is that gonna happen today? And but yeah, social media can also be a really dark place
Yeah.
to be on. It causes a lot
A
of
lot of
jealousy, a lot of guilt, comparing yourself to others, and then also also FOMO, because FOMO is
Yeah.
huge, and
And what's FOMO?
fear of missing out. Why don't you tell people what FOMO is, Taven?
I don't ever have FOMO.
What happened the
Really?
other day at the mall?
Okay. Alright,
That's true.
crazy.
Kyle and I were at the mall, and Taven
That's
goes,
crazy.
"Thanks for the invite."
Dude, it's because exactly. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want
yeah.
you there, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So you
I didn't have a
you
fear.
were missing out.
We
No,
could have
no,
just been like,
no,
"No,
I
Taven,
admit it.
screw you."
I did not have a fear of missing out, right? It was just like I'm doing nothing. You guys are doing something. Wait, that is what FOMO is.
It is.
Yeah.
You saw us.
Admit it. Say the words. I
don't have FOMO.
No. I have FOMO. Like, my friends were all hanging out at a
I'd
party
rather
that I
watch
was
Seinfeld.
invited to last year, but wasn't invited to this year, which is
Yeah.
fine. Like, I've drifted apart from, like, the girl that, like, hosted the hangout or whatever. But still, I was like,
I guess I have FOMO.
that looked fun. But at the same time, I know that God brings people into my life. And he also brings people out of my life for a reason. And I'm okay with that.
they're a blessing or a lesson.
You love that.
I do love that. I don't know. I think there's some things I do. Sometimes I'm like, I'd rather watch Seinfeld. Like play some video games at home.
You watch Seinfeld a lot.
Oh my gosh, I'm on season 5. I think I went through all of season 5 today almost. I'm on episode 20.
Jeez.
But they are only 20-minute episodes.
Where do you watch it?
My PS5. I just chill.
Oh.
I grub and I watch.
You grub.
My triple chicken, white rice.
That's crazy.
Bowl.
This couch is bugging me, how it's not all the way on the rug. What is that about?
It's so then
Kyle?
it's because
David?
it's because then I'm
He's facing more
Position.
towards the camera.
I'm
So
positioned
they can
so
see
then
his,
they see my
his
face
beautiful face.
Oh.
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Social media sucks though. Yeah, mostly. There's
Mostly.
some,
I would
definitely some cons.
I would say, okay, I wouldn't delete the app, honestly. I might at some point, who knows. But Snapchat is probably the worst social media app.
Oh, it's terrible. I think Be Real's
There is
honestly
no
better than Snapchat.
there is no point for
Even though
Snapchat.
nobody is real on
Yeah.
Be Real.
Like Snapchat, like yeah, I would say the big bonus is like you have the memories is like the biggest
Yeah.
thing, because then you can just like take a video of something and it's just this memory. you
It
know?
goes like that, like right
and like
into
and
it.
like
Mhm.
there's a difference between your camera roll and your Snapchat camera roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's easier to find those like funny moments or whatever. Like
Yeah.
other than that, like I feel like Snapchat only makes
I don't know,
friendships
sometimes
and
my
relationships
Snapchat
toxic.
memories from like elementary school, I'll see it and it's like a jump scare. It's a little scary.
Yeah, I don't have that because I just got the app like
Oh my gosh.
months ago.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I only got it this year.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, I have it.
I've had it for so long.
I've had it ever since I was in like 4th grade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was risen up.
All right. That's enough out of you.
Okay. Now I lost my talking privileges for the rest of the time.
Yeah, no, Kyle, you just have to sit there and just drink your hot chocolate. Don't even speak,
It's
Kyle. It's
No, like,
okay.
actually, like, social media is a pain.
I think Be
It
Real
is.
like is a big like thing of fear of missing out now. Because it's
Yeah.
like you see people when they're with their friends or like whatever. Because who's really with their
Yeah, and like people like want to post when they're around their friends too, because it's like they don't want to post when they're at home, like in their bed, because then they'll look like they have no motivation or whatever.
Facts.
I like my Be Real today, but you know.
I've had those B-reels too.
I think the last 3 Be Reals have been in my chair watching Seinfeld.
Hey, at least you're being real.
I am being real.
Yeah.
I also like don't really get Be Real. Like I don't care what you're doing,
Yeah.
but like I
Yeah.
still use it. You know what I mean?
If I see people at home like on their beds, I'm like,
If there's
Okay.
if there's a person at a party, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I wish I was there.
Sometimes I like to like see who's there, and I'm like, didn't
hmm.
know y'all were hanging out.
Yeah, true.
Or like you see like somewhat like a couple, but like you find out they're on like a date, you know? Like, oh, I didn't know that was a couple. I thought she was talking to you know who.
Mm,
That happened the other day.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, damn. And they switched up quick.
And that's like another thing about social media is like you're fake. Everyone's fake.
Everybody is fake. Everybody's a catfish. Like some like social
Not
media
everybody.
stars or
Yeah.
influencers will like post like real stuff, like them without
Yeah.
makeup on and stuff, and I think that's good to see, especially for like young teenage girls.
Yeah. Because we don't like, I don't know.
Guys don't really experience it like that much.
Yeah.
The
Well, you
only
guys,
thing
you
we
guys
experience
dive
is
in
body.
deep. Yeah. Like muscles.
Like, dang.
Yeah.
Like for you guys, it's like, I feel like it's like, I mean, you can speak on this more, but it's like hip dips,
Yep.
like eyelashes, eyebrows,
Mhm.
hair color,
Hair color, dude.
eye color. I feel like even.
It's like with guys, like you can see a guy be built, and you can do something about that.
Yeah.
Like some
There's
girls, they just like
some girls.
see
It's like, I feel like
you
some
can't
things
change
you
your
just can't
appearance.
change.
Yeah.
Like it's like, not to say you're like stuck with it, but it's like, it's genetically how you're built,
it's it's
which I
the
think
way
is hard
that
for
God
girls
made
to
you.
understand. Yeah.
And social media also takes a toll on us being confident with the way that God made us.
It's brought a lot of mental health issues.
It really has. And I feel like in this world, like girls have to keep up with so much. Like for one, makeup is not cheap. It's
Yeah.
expensive, and the world has brought us to a norm where like we think we look good with makeup on.
I mean, think about like this, like the Stanley Cup. Like, think about how quick that picked up, and every girl has one now.
oh what?
A
Oh,
Stanley-
the
The Stanley
Stanley.
Cup.
Oh, I thought you meant like the
No,
hockey
not like
Stanley
hockey.
Cup.
Sorry, like that like the Stanley
Yeah,
whatever.
Stanley's,
And,
like a Yeti.
Like a Yeti, but like
Yeah.
Dude, yeah,
Like,
and now I
every
want a
girl gets one.
Stanley. And my dad's gonna be like, you already have like 10 hydro flasks.
yeah. Well, that was the thing.
Yeah. And it's like you want to keep
It's
up
just
with the
trends.
trends. Yeah.
That's kind of like some like shoes. Like some shoes, like they kind of just get a trend, but I'm like they really hate all
Like
that.
pandas. Oh my gosh, I low-key hate those shoes.
Yeah, I don't know how everyone wears those. I'm like, bro, they're black and white, big deal.
All of my friends are like begging to have them for Christmas. I just feel like Jordans and like Dunks and the Pandas, I don't want shoes like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never gonna wear them. I don't think it looks good on me. Like, doesn't match my style. But
Some people rock them.
some people do, like Kevin.
His tassels.
All right, no, we ain't even going into that.
Madden.
The Steve Maddens. Those were clean. No, he actually rocked them. Not like.
Not with that outfit.
No.
It
He
just
did.
didn't fit the outfit.
No.
I don't-
Maybe if he's like wearing them like tomorrow
Like, they need to be dress
or on Christmas
shoes,
Eve,
right?
Yeah.
then that would make sense.
Yeah.
But
With the cut jeans and the high socks.
the socks.
I feel like if they were like cream colored socks, like they would have been okay.
No.
I don't know.
No. I don't even know what
Half
kind
the
of
people don't
socks
even
you
know
wear
what we're
with
talking
those.
about.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I don't even know if I could explain.
A
Basically, one of the
photographers.
employees at our
Yeah.
church. I mean, he's an employee now.
Yeah.
He was my old leader for my
Jordan's
group.
old intern.
Yeah, he was wearing these dress shoes with tassels,
Should I bring
but
up
they
a
were
photo?
like
I have a photo.
they were like Doc Martens.
Maybe
No,
you
just-
shouldn't.
Just like
No, I
edited
need to give the
picture,
people-
maybe.
Oh, we're giving the people.
But when Kyle and I were at the mall the other day, we saw
Oh,
the
I sent
shoes.
a photo to Kevin. I sent a photo to Kevin.
It was so funny.
I hope this loads.
Just edit it into the.
No, because I don't have enough brain cells for that. Okay, it's gonna load. Okay, hopefully you can
This
see.
is such like a Gen Z podcast.
Dude, what? We can't.
Saves me time if I just walk up and do that.
I guess.
Anyways.
Anyways,
I don't know what he was doing, but he wears Travis Scott shoes as his beaters. Whatever. Dude.
we love Kevin though.
We do love Kevin.
He brings a nice energy into our
And
church.
and speaking of Kevin, he runs the Instagram.
He does run Red Rocks Instagram.
Oh, he does? Wait, what? I didn't know this.
He like helps run the youth
Oh.
Instagram because he's like the creative director or whatever.
Yeah. More about social media. Good things on social media, like
Talking to your friends.
talking to your friends, and then also on TikTok, people have used that platform to share the gospel and
Yeah.
share about God, which
Dude,
I
see
think
some fire
is
TikToks.
very, very important.
Mike Todd. What's his
Stephen
name?
Furtick.
Stephen Furtick.
I feel like at the same time, though, people get too comfortable with sharing things about
Mhm.
God on social media. They need to like
They
actually
need to really know what
share
they're
it.
talking about, too.
And yeah, in real life. And I think it's a blessing that we have all of this stuff on social media. And I think it's great. And like, I love people to keep up with it, because if it is really the only thing about God that, you know, an atheist might receive, that's great. And
'Cause
if
it's like
that's
what?
over
It's-
social media, that's great.
Yeah. And it's like 15 seconds of your time.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
like
also
a-
feel like people need to see it in real life too, not just on social media.
Like, you got to get out and go do it. Like, you can't just sit there and watch it. Like,
Gotta invite your friends to church.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll pull up the numbers, but like, we had so many people that like got baptized this
It's like
year.
got
over
saved.
300 students.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like even like for instance, me and Kyle. I mean, we have our Snapchat stories where you just
Yeah.
Yeah.
post motivation and like.
I have one
stuff
too.
about-
I used to post on it like a lot. I used to post on it every day, but now I'm like, I kind of want to back away from Snapchat a little bit.
I think Lauren brought that to me too. I don't know if that was for you, but like Lauren was like.
Lauren uses her social media only to spread
Oh,
positive
yeah.
stuff, and it's utterly amazing.
Some of her things are funny too.
Well,
Some that I use.
her
She's
story,
in Vegas
her Snapchat
right now.
story is
Yeah.
different than her like Instagram.
Yeah.
Like all of her Instagram captions are always like so motivational.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So 900 students that
Plus.
came to plus that went to youth, 207 that got baptized, and then 1,438 that came to youth.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, 900 plus salvations is what it was, which is crazy.
That makes me very, very happy.
Yeah.
Just knowing that like those people felt like joy.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Well,
I've
like
done-
because like even those kids that got baptized or even salvation, like then they'll start inviting their friends, and then it's only grows. Like that 900 turns into 1,800, and then
Yeah.
that doubles, and then that doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Because like for me, I invited one friend from my school, and then he invited another friend, and then
those two invited more.
I had a
kids.
person come with me to youth, and then like now more people come with them, and like kind of started this chain reaction of people coming to youth, and now there's like 15 people because of my one invite kind of thing.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I kind of have a hard time like inviting people
Yeah.
because I know that like anybody at my school, like my close group of friends, they like won't go. I know that like one of them have thought about possibly coming, but we're still playing it by ear. And then inviting my friend Kesley to youth. Like we've gotten so close, and like she's my best friend now, and we can literally talk about anything, like God centered and stuff.
Well, I mean, think about like Harry. Harry.
Yeah. If he didn't get that
I feel
invite by
was,
Caden,
Yeah, out of nowhere that he went to
Yeah.
retreat and then like
It's truly a
completely
miracle.
change his life,
Yeah.
which is
Very
amazing.
proud of him.
And then
He has a good testimony.
yeah, he does. We've all been a part of it, which is lit.
Yeah.
It's like great to see because it's like, man, that invite of Caden and then like us just being able to have conversations and
Mhm.
activities with him like has changed his life.
I remember the first time I talked to Harry, he had his camera out and I went up and asked him, I was like, are you on Red Rocks Creative? And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, well, I was wondering because like you had your camera out and you were taking
Yeah.
photos and I told him about it and I'm like, you need to talk to Kevin because I think this could be like really good for you, especially if you just brought up your camera
Yeah.
because it's something that you're passionate about. Like, why don't we actually do something with these photos that you are
Mhm.
taking?
He got some good photos of us. We all used those, I think.
Yeah. That frisbee golf was sick.
That was
it was
fun.
fun.
I think I think it was cold then.
And what's funny is I came late.
It was really
Like,
cold.
You guys were all playing frisbee golf.
I came
and then
late, too.
I just strolled through.
Me too. That was the same with me. I took videos, like the cinematic videos.
Yeah.
I love taking those for good memories. Good stuff to
Imagine
look
a
back on.
panoramic photo of like all the way around.
What?
Uh,
Yeah, but
like were you
not-
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what if you did that like all the way around with all of us? You know?
That'd be fire.
Wouldn't that have been sick?
that would have been really cool.
Spring retreat. Oh wait, I don't know what's happening.
It's okay.
Not that I can't go to that mission trip. Anyways, thanks, Jordan.
Hey.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
It'll be alright.
I'll just FaceTime you guys. I don't think they have internet there, huh?
Probably not.
They probably do.
Well, I don't know.
Something in Rwanda.
Yeah.
Something. Still in the works. Still have to apply, interview,
Get all the money for it.
get all the money for it.
Yeah.
But I think it's truly a blessing from God that our church is able to do something like that with our youth students.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean,
very
like-
honored and stuff.
We're not like, I mean, like, think about it too, is like all those kids that came to like youth, like it's like maybe some of them, like maybe 25% is like from like seeing them at school, but it's like probably most of it is them texting them like before youth that night being like, hey, you should come to youth, like
Yeah.
if you're free.
Yeah.
And like that's what social media has brought in like the good in
Mhm.
the good ways of like inviting good people to youth and being like, hey, I
Yeah.
can give you a ride, like
Or
this
like
that.
posting on your story and
Yeah,
stuff. Like
I mean, like that's what our like all the leaders do. Is
Well,
like, we
and like
Yeah.
I posted a TikTok today.
I saw that.
And it had Brandon Lake's song in it, right? And my friend texted. He's like, "Is this the song in your TikTok?" Because it was like just lyrics on the screen. And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is that the kind of music you guys play at work at youth?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to come then." And I was like, "Oh, lit." And so like,
Oh, that's
I have
great.
My friend coming, you know.
Because I have like, when I tell my friends, like, I go to church, they think
don't
of
think-
something
yeah.
completely different. Which is like,
When I've heard that from a couple of my friends that I've invited, they're like, "This is a lot different than I thought, and it's a lot cooler." You know, I feel a lot more accepted because
yeah,
I think Jordan makes the like messages easy to understand too.
yeah.
And he makes them very like convicting in a way.
Yeah, Jordan's improvement has been
Yeah.
insane, and I see improvement every single week.
He works so hard on those.
He does, and he
But I-
cares about all of his students so insanely much.
Because when I went to lunch with him the other day, he was like he puts in like Sunday he starts with his service.
Yeah,
And he works through it from like I think he said like he does like 14 hours, like from Sunday like 1-ish till like Wednesday, literally right before. He
Yeah.
puts in like 14 hours just to get that in,
Mm.
which is like crazy because he puts in so much time for us, and I'm like
yeah,
very grateful for
well,
that.
because that's not including all of the other things he does.
yeah.
Yeah, which he's a busy man.
hmm With social media and like when sometimes we're feeling like down and hard about ourselves with FOMO or comparing yourself, I feel like sometimes we just have to set our phones down and be like, I've had enough for the day, because you guys good over there?
Yeah.
No, I was just on my phone, so he was like calling me.
Oh. Yeah, well, set our phones down and like take that time to open up our Bibles. Like,
Yeah.
close your phone, open your Bible. Social media is a huge thing, and it's something that every teenager is like addicted to. Guys, what's going on?
This is this little thing. It's alright. No, I see what you're saying, and I think that's like probably one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah.
Because if you can just, like, people always like, are like, but I don't know when I'm supposed to find time for God, but they'll like go to TikTok for 3 hours, you know what I mean?
Mhm. And I've struggled with that.
Like even 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Just start somewhere.
And
I mean,
sometimes
it doesn't
it
even
is
have
hard.
to be 15 minutes. Like honestly,
Exactly.
like you could literally just look up verses.
Uh-huh.
Like I feel like, and like I get.
I
you
mean,
don't
it
get
depends
that,
on the
like-
person because some people, like, worship music isn't their thing. But some people, like, worship music is everything.
Yeah.
Worship music is like everything to me. I love worship music. I get
So
chills like every time in church.
Yeah.
That's when it like really, really hits me.
Worship music is the start of a lot of people's stories, especially teenagers.
Yeah.
Like, they go to a retreat or they go to youth and they, like, during worship is when they just start breaking out crying.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Especially like I mean like I think honestly like there's like obviously like the pre-service like stuff, but I like which I feel like the pre-service is like getting you into like the like I don't want to
Mindset.
say mood, but yeah, mindset
Yeah.
to like hear his word, and then you have like your message, and then I think that like after service or after like the message like worship is like so good because it's like you're kind of just having that moment for him to like speak to you about it,
Mhm.
which I think is like so
Mm-hmm.
impactful. I think I've seen like that, like that's definitely where I've had my like most, it's had the most impact on me.
Yeah.
And I mean like think about Cry Night, like we did, like we didn't do it at the start, we did it at the end, after the message, and like the message kind of spoke to people.
Yeah, worship music and just like music in general is like truly a gift from God. And I'm so thankful for music.
I listen to so much music. Like what would you listen to in the car other than music?
A podcast.
Our podcast.
I listened to it on my way over to my mom's.
Did you really?
Yeah.
The one from this morning? Or-
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why Spotify is clutch.
Yeah. That was a pain to do. I won't lie.
Upload it to Spotify. But I feel like, I don't know, it gives people another platform to listen to it from, which
It's
is
lit. And like there's YouTube if you want to see our pretty faces.
Yeah.
And then Spotify if you just want to
Mhm.
listen to our pretty voices.
But that's like also
Yep.
something, I mean, connecting back to the social media thing is like the platforming. A lot
Yeah.
of people, they want to be on everything, you know? They
Yeah.
want to have Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok. And
Yeah,
Be
so they
Real
don't
and all
miss
this
out.
stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like a lot of the time it always takes away.
If you could like, what would one app that you like that you would do without, like out of Instagram, Snapchat, and like I
I
guess
feel like-
YouTube isn't really big for her, but like YouTube for us is probably
Well, but
big.
like, okay, but YouTube, that's not exactly
really
a social
social
media app.
so I
that's
guess like,
entertainment.
what, Snapchat and Instagram. Mm.
But like I see, YouTube could be called a social
Snapchat,
media.
Instagram, and TikTok.
But
And
I would say
TikTok, too,
Snapchat,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, Snapchat.
Snapchat brings
I
no
feel
value.
like-
If you want to talk to your friends, you could text them. You know what I mean?
I feel like Snapchat would be very, very difficult for me to get rid of. And like, I feel like I'd have nothing to do. That
Yeah. Because like think about it.
I would be
people-
best without Snapchat.
Yeah. For real. I had to delete TikTok and Instagram to like focus for my finals because I was like, dude, I keep looking at my phone.
I had to delete Snapchat like a few times a few weeks ago because I hated seeing the opened or left undelivered
Brutal.
because I was putting my worth into that instead of my worth into God. So
Yeah.
I deleted it and I
God
was
doesn't
like,
leave you unopened.
look, I need to put this distraction away from me and
Yeah.
actually do what's good for me.
Yeah. God doesn't
So-
leave you unopened. God leaves you on opened and typing.
Opened and typing.
I think that's the thing is like God is always doing something in your life, like even if you don't know. But also like you look around you and everything around you is God's creation, right?
Yeah.
And everything like has its purpose. Like the smallest little things, like you wouldn't be driving down the street or like in your own home and like the plant sitting next to you or the tree on the side of the road, and you'd be like, oh, it's just a tree, but like God made that tree.
He did.
You know what I mean?
Which is why it's so hard to say that, like, we all say this and it's like, oh, I hate like that one thing, when really we shouldn't be hating anything at all because everything is from God.
Yeah.
But also hate is stupid because God
Hate
says
isn't
to
from
forgive.
God.
Like,
Hate
you
is from the
shouldn't have
enemy.
enemies, you shouldn't hate anyone. Like I've started to be like that. Like honestly, if anyone does anything stupid to me or like makes me want to hate them, right? It's like I don't really hate that person. It's like
I hate what they're doing.
you could pray for them.
No.
Yeah, you can pray
You
for
could
them.
pray for them, and like for instance, like some people, you might hate them, but if they had Jesus in their life, they could be a totally different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just haven't found Jesus, so you need to give grace and forgiveness to those.
Yeah, and we all sin,
Yeah.
and good thing we can be forgiven from our sins, but we also need to acknowledge our sins and pray about them, change them. You know, like next time you're on like your drive to work or on your drive to school, just like look at the sky. Like, is the sky blue today? Yeah.
Focus on the road. Wait, let's.
Focus.
I wanna get
Yeah.
it
Focus on.
killed. Focus on the road. Don't look at the sky while you're driving.
Yeah. Don't be like.
But like, you can pray while you drive. Like you don't have to close your eyes.
I will talk to God for
Yeah,
a 10-minute drive.
sometimes I'm like
30-minute
on my
drive.
drive and I'll see somebody like on the side of the road just like walking on a sidewalk, walking their dog, and I just pray for them, pray that they have a good day, and you
Me
know.
and Jordan did that. We saw some dude like sprawled out on the floor leaving church. I was like, that dude is going through it,
Mhm.
and we prayed for him.
That's good. Because sometimes like even though people may seem like they're having like a nice day, maybe the reason why they're going on a walk with their dog is to get out of their household.
Yeah, you never know, because that's a lot of like those people you quote unquote hate, right, or like have resentment towards. Like the only reason they're lashing out or doing anything to you is probably because there's something in their life that's making them
they're
like all this built up
unhappy with,
anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it just is lashing out at you, so you can pray for that
I
person.
mean, that's they can.
And also like even though like it's wrong for them to do that, right? It's nothing that you can like don't get mad at them for it, because it's just the enemy.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like even like social media. Like you only like sometimes you just see someone you don't know their good, like the good or the bad side. Like that's kind of social media. Like you only see the good side. You see the highlights of everyone. Like you're not gonna see the like no one's gonna post a photo of them crying like hysterically of like, oh my gosh, this is happening in my life.
Yeah, you
Like,
might
it's
like
only the
save it
good.
to your my eyes only.
Yeah.
But nobody like posts it on like their public story
Mhm.
because they want to put on this perfect face to everyone, thinking that they're fine, like they're happy, they're living the perfect life. Like you don't need to worry about me.
Yeah.
When
Ooh.
they turn off the camera and it's a completely different story.
It really is.
And that's why social media is so like toxic, is because of, I mean, the cancel culture, right? Because that they find that one bad part about that person or the one bad thing
Or they
they've
take
done,
things
and
out of
they just-
context.
Yeah, and they just ride with it, and they don't like try to hear the person's side. Like for instance, Rex Orange County, right?
Yeah.
He got like charged or like was
With sexual
um,
assault, yeah.
like someone said or anything, and like today the charges got dropped because he was like not even in the country when the girl said it happened or whatever. And there's something about it, and it's just like people turned against him because of that when there's like no evidence to back it up, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that like God will always reveal the truth.
Yeah.
And so you kind of just need to put your faith in God, like whether it's in your own life.
Oh man.
Intermission.
Quick intermission. Kyle hit himself with a water bottle.
I got knocked out. The ambulance came.
What?
Have you never heard that?
No.
Okay. You've never heard the ambulance?
Like wah.
When you're like whining
No.
about something
Well, now you
and
have.
it's like doesn't actually hurt. Really? Okay. Anyways.
Anyways,
That same thing happened at Jordan's apartment when you're like, when
Oh,
you like the
yeah.
door open. Like, I don't know if my parents like never cultured me about all that stuff. Got a hole in your mouth?
Okay. Have you ever heard of, I mean, what?
Like chivalry?
No.
What?
Are you talking about like a guy holding a door open?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kyle left the door open at Jordan's.
Oh.
And then
At
he
game
said
night?
something about like living in a barn or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You live in a barn?
Yeah.
You've never heard that?
No.
That's crazy.
Like, my parents would always say, like,
You weren't born in a barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
if
don't live in a
my
barn.
sister and I were like crying, my parents would say, like, are you gonna cry like till the cows come home or something?
What?
I've heard
I
that
don't
one.
know.
And like
That
that
one.
would like actually scare me because I would imagine like this like scary
Cows
cow
coming here.
coming into my house.
Yo.
You know what
It
that
was like
reminds me of?
traumatizing.
You know the movie with the cows stand up? Have you seen that?
Yeah, and that's what I would imagine.
Like the claymation.
Claymation.
Oh my gosh, never mind.
Do you know what claymation is?
Yeah. I thought he was talking about like actual clay.
No. Anyways. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Rex Orange County.
Yeah, we were just talking about how like cancel culture is like quick to judge, you know?
Yeah. And like all the news that you see on social media, it's like right away you believe that.
Mm-hmm.
When really that's not the full story. And that's something all of us get caught up in.
For real.
And stuff. Crazy stuff.
I'm looking up claymation.
Oh.
You know, like the Nightmare
I got it.
Before Christmas?
I got it.
Also, that movie is horrible.
Never watched it.
Good, don't ever watch it. It's like,
The Barnyard. That's the movie.
it makes Christmas.
Have you
Yes!
seen this? Yeah. This is
That's what
this
I
is
would
was
think.
thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
never seen it.
It's such a bad put on like Christmas. Cause like it's not, to me, it's not a Halloween movie. To me, it's a Christmas movie because it's all about Christmas. But it's
Yeah.
like these Halloween figures, which is like Halloween is like considered like a satanic holiday,
Yeah.
like taking on like Christmas, and I'm just like,
Kind of ruined it.
You know what I
Yeah.
find crazy is you don't realize, but like practically every movie you watch is the Bible, like the story, like the Antichrist. Like there's like the Bible is the story.
yeah.
It's the
One-
baseline
One
story.
time, Brandy said it was like the women, like the girls'
Protagonist
night or
and
whatever.
antagonist.
That like the Bible is like a huge like romance story
Yeah.
about like marriages and just like relationships in general.
But like every movie follows a protagonist and like an antagonist, like the Antichrist. And it's just like there's a lot
That's
of
all based off of what we read in the Bible.
exactly.
The Bible's so real, like with the numbers like 12 and 7 and like there's 12 disciples, there's 12 months, and then I know like the number 7 gets brought up a lot, and God created
7 days.
the world in 7 days, and 7 days makes up a week,
Hmm.
and he had
I
the
love
day
that
of,
he just like took a day to rest.
yeah.
Like, that's so
Sabbath.
sick.
When do you
On Sunday.
actually ever
Like,
take
he's
Sunday to
like
rest?
he's
That's-
him. You know what I mean? He's like
We
you know
had
what?
that talk in like the book club meeting about the Sabbath and like how we truly have to honor that day and like learn how to honor that day, because that's something I also struggle with. Like on the Sabbath, I do my homework when I shouldn't. Like I need to take that time instead of doing my homework to honor the Lord and maybe do my homework on a Saturday.
I think
not
I've
on a
worked the
Sunday.
last like 5 Sundays too.
Say what?
Like work like at the ice rink.
Oh,
I've literally worked the last 4 Sundays, and it's like I should be resting.
yeah. With my job, like I don't work on Sundays.
I don't either.
Because I mean, like, good for you that, like, you're working and you're making money, but
No, I wish I had Sundays to rest.
it's like Sundays are meant for church and for you to spend time with God and your family and just rest, not have to worry about anything, because really it
Watch
honors,
football.
because really
Do
it
you actually watch
honors
football?
what
No.
God has
Yeah.
done for us.
I don't ever watch football.
I don't watch football.
Well,
You know what I do watch? Hockey.
All right.
Here we go. There's a reason she's a figure skater. She wanted an excuse to be by all the hockey boys.
Yeah.
Social media, man.
It's
Such a
rough.
confusing thing.
It
'Cause
is
it can
confusing.
be good and then it can be bad. And then you hate it one day and then you're like, oh my gosh, this TikTok's so funny.
Do you think like video games? Would you call that social media?
What? No, they're video games.
Well, no,
I
but like
still
you're
feel like-
talking with someone.
And?
I still feel like
But
video
you're being
games
social.
can be.
No. Social media is like updates to your
Like
life.
posting, you think?
Posting and like all that
Posting, yeah.
stuff, you know what I mean? Video games are video games.
So like you're talking
No.
so much.
Video games are video games, Kyle.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well,
Was it-
what more do we have to say about like God honoring social media? Like what can
I think it's
we
hard.
do as a group differently to make social media a better place?
I think it's hard for people because they like don't want to get bashed for like
Yeah.
believing.
And I think that's like, social media is such a perfect outlet to spread the word, you know?
Social media has gotten so political,
Yeah.
and it sucks.
I mean, when I was trying to, you have to do guidelines if you want to like put faith on Spotify.
Really.
There's like guidelines you have to follow. Which
Yeah,
is
it's
like
really
crazy because I'm like you're literally just talking like
Yeah, we're talking about like what makes us happy, and like they wouldn't do that to like other people.
yeah.
And I don't know, it's hard because like some things can be taken down for violating community guidelines when all you're doing is sharing the gospel,
Mhm.
and it sucks. And that's the enemy trying to stop us
Stop it. Yeah.
and trying to grab us. But instead of like, we do get mad that that happens, but instead of like getting so instantly got hurt, just post it again.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also the beauty is that you can post a lot of stuff, you know, and you can share your feelings when it comes to, I mean, religion is, I feel like you don't really get taken down on community guidelines about religion as much as you would about like politics or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you can share your beliefs and it, like if you share, you know, a Bible verse or like a video, right? It could touch someone that day and like really hit home for them,
Yeah.
and that might spark them going to church that next week
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I think being able to share with a larger audience just from like the comfort of your own home is a huge deal. But a lot of people can't rely on that. You know, they
Mhm.
still should try their hardest to get into church and
I think
get into
sometimes
the
it
Bible and stuff.
like social media convicts them and they're like, I should be going to church.
Mhm.
Or like what am I doing on my phone scrolling mindlessly on TikTok for like
Yeah.
4 hours, and they
Oh
see
my-
that like quick Bible thing and it's like, maybe I should be going to church, maybe I should try reading my Bible, like, and it kind of like convicts them, or like it hits something home to like what's going on right in that moment.
And they
Yeah.
stay digital, and they don't. It's like you can stay digital all you want, but like physically being with God is so much more important. Like being in
Yeah.
His Word and being in His house, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything more? I have one thing to say at the end, but I think like I know I posted about this on that Snapchat story, but it's like I think so a big gosh darn a mess. I think a big thing is like sin is also known as like missing the mark, and like missing them, and this is like I've learned this in school, is like when you sin, you're missing God's mark, and that's another translation for it, is like when you sin you miss God's mark, and like none of us are ever gonna be like, we're never gonna be perfect, and we're always gonna fall short of like God's love, but like, and we've done like nothing to deserve it, but it's given to us,
Yeah.
which I think is so powerful, and like we all need to understand that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I feel like also like one thing that I want to say is, as Christians and having non-Christian friends, that maybe want to start exploring their faith, using social media, it's a great way to start sharing those things. And if it's posting like a Bible verse on your story, if that's the only thing that they get out of God that day, and if it's something that they really need, then I think it's very, very impactful, and it can truly like change their lives. So I think social media is great for like sharing the gospel and stuff, and using it for positive instead of using it for the negative. Because
And also-
cyberbullying is hard. It takes people's lives. It
Yeah.
literally does.
I think that's part of like what you put in, you get out. You know, you put
Yeah.
positive things up on social media, you're gonna see positive things. It's like
Outside
the
of social
algorithm, right?
media.
If
Yeah.
you start liking and interacting with all these Christian TikToks and stuff, you're gonna start seeing them pop up more. You know, so what you put in, you get out, and that's kind of the same thing with God, right? Because if you give Him your effort, He'll bless you in ways you don't even know were possible. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sometimes you don't see like things are a blessing until it's later on.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that like, I mean, I challenged Harry with this, is like, I gave him this like book of like, it like you'll fill it in like 3 weeks. And like I did this a lot when I was like starting out in my faith, is like I didn't see how God was working in my life. So what I did was like I'd fill this book and then I'd go back like 2 months or a month after I filled it completely, and I'd be like, wow, I was here and I couldn't handle this, and look where God's taken me.
Yeah.
And I think that's been so impactful for my life, and I think, I mean, I haven't really caught up with Harry about it, but I think it's been impactful for him too.
Well, and finding that blessing in those moments, right? It's like something might happen to you that sucks, right? But like,
You have to find the goodness of God in each day.
well, that, because He might be teaching you a lesson in that moment, and then that won't ever happen again, and you won't feel like that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I've been doing, which has like really been helping me, is before school started, I was like really, really nervous about going into school, because last year school took a toll on me mentally, because I'm stressed all the time and having to do homework and getting up early and going to bed early.
I mean, you live far too.
I live
So it's
far
not
away
easy.
from my school, and it's not easy. It really sucks at times. But I've started to write down on a sticky note one thing good that has happened during the school day, and I've done that ever since the beginning of the year. And I think we're on like day 82 of being in school. But
That's crazy.
it's helped me out, because
It feels
even
a
though
lot longer
school
than that.
is hard and sometimes school can really suck, it at least gives me a positive outlook
Yeah.
on one thing good that's happened that day.
Yeah. Truth. I think that's it.
I think that's a good place to end.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
It'll be the new year. I'm
To
excited.
the new year.
That's crazy.